Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Now with today's main headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi says consumption and sale of narcotics are not permissible. Office of Grand Ayatollah Ali Sistani issues statement condemning Israeli attacks on Palestinians. Germany arrests Iraqi man suspected of committing war crimes with ISIS. Displaced Sudanese in need of urgent protection as violent conflicts drag on. Assalamu alaikum dear viewers, this is Hussein Jawad and you're watching Shia Waves live from Imam Hussein TV 3 in London. The daily scholarly meeting of Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sadiq al-Husseini Shirazi was held on Wednesday, the 25th of Rabi'ul Awwal. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi discussed the ruling on the use of narcotic drugs and said, the rulings of intoxicants being haram does not include narcotics. However, we have other Shari'iyya-based reasons which make the use of narcotics impermissible. Most importantly is the fact that as a result of its pervasive consumption, the society will suffer absolute harm. Let's watch the statements of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi together.
لا حرمة، الحرمة ما تشمل، وإنما المخدرات دليل آخر عندنا ما يأتي منه الفساد محضاً. المخدرات اللي مو مائعة بالأصالة خاصة مو نجسة، أما الاستفادة منها لا يجوز إلا بمقدار الضرورة للعلاج للأمراض للأوجاع، أما أكثر من ذلك لا يجوز للدليل الآخر ما يأتي منه الفساد محضاً، مو دليل الخمر يشمل، لا.
And now the office of Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Sistani has issued a statement condemning the humanitarian crimes and brutality Israel is committing against the civilians in the Gaza Strip. The statement, a copy of which was obtained by Shia Waves agency, said during these days the Gaza Strip is being subjected to continuous bombing and intense attacks, which are unparalleled and have currently resulted in the death and injury of more than 6,000 innocent civilians, the displacement of large numbers of people from their homes, and the destruction of vast residential areas. The extent of the bombing, which is targeting many areas, has left no safe place for people to shelter. The statement continued, this is happening in full view of the whole world, without any deterrent or prohibition. Rather, there are those who support these criminal acts and justify them under the pretext of self-defense. It stressed the entire world is called upon to stand up against this terrible brutality and to stop the occupying forces from continuing to carry out their plans to cause further harm to the oppressed Palestinian people. German authorities on Wednesday arrested an Iraqi man accused of involvement in the killing of prisoners and the amputation of a person's hand in his homeland as a member of the Islamic State group. The suspect, identified only as Abdul J.S., is accused of membership in a foreign terrorist organization and participation in war crimes. Prosecutors said in a statement that he joined IS by June 2014 and in the following months participated twice in the extremist group's public punishments. In one case, they said he was involved in the execution of at least 6 prisoners. In another, he is accused of providing security while the hand of an alleged thief was amputated. Let's take a look at today's main headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi says consumption, sale of narcotics are not permissible. Office of Grand Ayatollah Ali Sistani issues statement condemning Israeli attacks on Palestinians. Germany arrests Iraqi man suspected of committing war crimes with ISIS. Also tonight, non-violence organization condemns Israeli crimes against Palestinian civilians. More than 5.4 million people in Sudan have become uprooted from their homes since clashes between the Sudanese armed forces and the paramilitary rapid support forces erupted in mid-April, making this the fastest displacement crisis in the world. The UNHCR says the dangers encountered by people fleeing violence also have made Sudan one of the largest protection crises facing the agency today. We are close to 1.1 million women and children, as well as older persons who have crossed the borders and often under very difficult circumstances, said Mamadou Diane Bald, UNHCR Regional Refugee Coordinator for the Sudan situation. And now we continue with some short news. A year has passed since the completion of the Darih of Sayyidah Zainab, peace be upon her, which was done by Al-Abbas Holy Shrine in the city of Karbala. This was installed at her shrine in Damascus as a gift from her brother to his sister. The people of Syria and the pilgrims of the shrine of Sayyidah Zainab in Damascus commemorated this joyous occasion with celebrations. Regarding the details of this event, the management of Al-Abbas Holy Shrine told the Shia Waves agency that during this trip, the cleaning operation of the Holy Darih of the commanders of Sham, Sayyidah Ruqayya, daughter of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, was also carried out based on a plan prepared by a team of experts in this field. An annual eclipse will pass from Oregon to Texas on Saturday, offering millions of people the opportunity to witness spectacular ring of fire in the skies. This takes place when the moon is furthest from the earth. This celestial display will travel through 8 states, starting in Eugene, Oregon, where it will last for 3 minutes and 55 seconds. The last ring of fire eclipse was seen in the US in 2012. As the casualties and damages caused by successive and deadly earthquakes that hit Western Afghanistan are increasing, United Nations World Food Organization has made an appeal to the international community for humanitarian aid to Afghanistan. Earlier, the United Nations had announced the lack of sufficient budget has made the process of aiding the victims of the earthquake in Herat extremely difficult. Local sources in Herat province confirm that as the result of the recent earthquakes, several historical reservoirs have been damaged in the region. Grand Mosque of Herat and one of the minarets of this province have also been seriously damaged. The deadly earthquake on Saturday, October 7th, followed by 3 consecutive earthquakes on Wednesday, October 11th, have resulted in the death and injury of more than 4,000 people, causing huge financial losses to the residents of several Herat cities in western Afghanistan. The officials of the Ahlul Bayt Centre in Wembley, London, have confirmed the success of their preaching and cultural programs held throughout the year in attracting non-Muslim youth to learn about the message of tolerance and the teachings of Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. They said in a statement received by Shia Waves agency that the centre's unique location in the strategic and densely populated area of Wembley has a direct impact on its residents, as well as the neighbouring areas of Harrow, Kingsbury and Stanmore. They explained that the primary goals of establishing this centre were to meet the social, spiritual and intellectual needs of the Shia community and to establish the Husseini rituals, adding that it also aims to play a significant role in spreading the Islamic thoughts and establishing its true principles based on the guidance of the Holy Quran and the Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. Holy Karbala Governor Nasif al-Khattab demanded the Ministry of Electricity to implement a new energy project in the city. A statement issued by al-Khattab's office, which was obtained by Shia Waves agency, said the Governor of Karbala, Engineer Nasif al-Khattab, received the Director of Renewable Energy in the Ministry of Electricity, Saud Saleh, and they discussed the establishment of renewable energy stations in the province. Al-Khattab was quoted as saying the local government is continuing to provide support for all government departments to ensure the success of the solar energy project. The Misbah al-Hussein Foundation had raised the problem of power outages during the sessions of its major development project, Holy Vision Karbala 2030, 50 million pilgrims, during the Holy Arba'in, and called for the establishment of the electricity stations for the province and increasing its share of electricity during major visits. Organization Free Muslim has strongly condemned the crimes committed by Israeli army against Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip, calling on the international community to take urgent action to stop the war immediately. In a statement received by Shia Waves agency, the organization said that the views of destruction and violence in the city of Gaza due to Israeli shelling have become one of the most painful events in the soul of every sane person, especially with the targeting of children, women and the elderly. It added that millions of people in the city are facing the danger of genocide after Israel cut off access of basic necessities for life, such as food, medical aid, as well as drinking water and electricity supplies. The Free Muslim expressed its condemnation of the crimes against humanity that are being committed against civilians, calling on the international community to take urgent action to stop the war immediately, in addition to lifting the blockade on Gaza and ensuring the immediate entry of humanitarian aid. We have reached the end of today's Shia Wave show. Let's remind our dear viewers of today's main headlines. Grand Ayatollah Shirazi says consumption, sale of narcotics are not permissible. Office of Grand Ayatollah Ali Sistani issues statement condemning Israeli attacks on Palestinians. Germany arrests Iraqi man suspected of committing war crimes with ISIS. Displaced Sudanese in need of urgent protection as violent conflicts drag on. Non-violence organization condemns Israeli crimes against Palestinian civilians. You can view the latest news on our Shia Waves website, and you can see news of your city or country to be published on a news agency. Contact us on the numbers at the bottom of the screen. This is the end of today's news. Thank you very much for watching. We pray to Allah Almighty to hasten the appearance of the Master of our time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
العريش رب العوالم رسم فاطمة. ساق العريش رب العوالم رسم فاطمة. ثالث اسم عاللوح خط القلم فاطمة. بيضعة رسول الباري سيد الأمم فاطمة. أصبحت بالعيف منار القيم فاطمة. المعجزة الباهرة بساق العريش زاهرة.